Devender Rana is Provincial President of the National Conference. Sameer Kaul is Chief National Spokesperson of the PDP. Shabnam Lone is a senior advocate. Salman Soz, senior Congress leader. My first question is to Devender Rana. Shameful, isn't it, Mr. Rana, what Farooq Abdullah says? He says, I wish I had the authority and the power and these people behind me. I would have carried out 100 attacks on them. But I do not have that power. What does he mean? He means that if he had the resources at his disposal, he would have resorted to tremendous violence against his rival, the PDP. Is this a language expected of a cabinet minister?
Metaphor being twisted to the political convenience.
Metaphor.
What he has said is
Sameer Kaul metaphor. He says metaphor. I don't know what kind of metaphors. What language English is this?
My resources are my people. My resources are my votes. And he said, I will fight the PDP
prize customer
through
would
the
have been
people
no
of
one other,
Kashmir
not a warlord from Afghanistan.
With the power of my vote.
It would be right
and
here,
he said, with the
Farooq
vote
Abdullah of Kashmir.
and with the support of the people of Kashmir.
He would have been your first customer.
You don't want to listen
tonight.
to me. You cannot go on like this. You have to
listen
give me
to
a
what?
chance to speak, and then
you are threatening political holocaust, my friend.
Not
political
at all.
holocaust.
You are feeling threatened.
This is an open threat.
You are bereft
What's
of
wrong
issues.
with you?
You have no issues.
What are you trying to defend
of your
tonight, my
frustration. And Mr. Arnab Goswami, let me also put some facts before you. The unfortunate killing of that Sarpanch. The slain Sarpanch.
No, Farooq Abdullah should be arrested then.
Are you listening?
Wait a minute.
But Farooq Abdullah should be arrested.
Because he was talking to us. Because that slain Sarpanch was
Farooq
talking
Abdullah,
to us. And he was talking to support
a union minister.
That he was being taught. We need to ask
a union minister says that if I had bombs and guns, I would have carried out 100 attacks on my political rivals. He should be arrested. You can't dismiss it by calling it a metaphor.
I am not going to resort to violence. I am not talking of violence. Please read his statement.
But if I had the guns and bombs, I would have carried out 100 attacks on them.
To violence.
But
you
if I had
asked me a question. I don't have that power. I don't want to. My resources are the people who are without guns and bombs. My resources are people and their vote. The NC patron, Dr. Farooq said. And a metaphor in the process
it's
of
not a metaphor.
And now you're trying to blow it up out of proportion.
It is first of all.
There are many issues which need to be debated and discussed.
Devender Rana.
Please try to understand, Mr. Arnab Goswami. National Conference is a party which has lost so many lives. So many of our colleagues have died. My young colleague Yawar Masoodi had a narrow escape the other day. You think the patron of the party, who the father of the party, how would he be feeling when his soldiers are dying, when his friends are dying, when his people who are
Devender Rana, don't resort to emotion.
Yawar Masoodi,
don't resort. No, 1 minute. Devender Rana, please. Devender Rana, please. Devender Rana, just a minute.
Mr. Goswami, sir, if you lose
Mr. Rana, listen to me.
Is the patron of the party, who is the be-all of the party, is he not going to feel hurt?
Arnab,
a man who has seen people dying.
What do you mean by
who have been
feel
of the national conference. He used a metaphor. You are twisting that metaphor.
1 second. Now,
suddenly everything has been boiled down to that metaphor.
No, 1 minute. You see the problem nowadays.
The way it is being taken and twisted
Devender Rana, okay, now you're repeating yourself. The point is, Devender Rana, listen to me, please. I know you have come prepared to defend Farooq, but just listen. Otherwise, we will not be able to get over it. First of all, you have Devender Rana, you have to let me. You have to let me come in. Otherwise, you anchor the program. You please listen to me now, Mr. Rana. Listen to me,
sir. I am on the truth. And truth doesn't need to be defended. Truth just needs to be projected.
Now, can I just say something? Fine, you have made a fair amount of long opening remarks. Your opening remarks effectively amount to the following. One, you admit that Farooq Abdullah said that if he had bombs and guns, he would have carried out an attack on the PDP. You then say it was a metaphor. You say I
was not witness to this. I am reading what I have before me. He says my resources are people who are without guns and bombs.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Now don't do this. Now don't do this, Devender Rana. Don't do this. I'll read it out to you. Please just wait a minute. Hold your turn. I wish. This is a cabinet minister's language. I wish I had the power and the authority and these people. Which people? Terrorists? I would have carried out 100 attacks on them if I had the bombs and guns. And you go and say this, you're provoking people to go out and carry out physical violence. And the problem is nowadays, that there are cameras everywhere which catch you red-handed.
Mr. Goswami, put your hand on your heart. You also understand it's a metaphor.
Arnab.
You also understand it's a metaphor.
Arnab.
A man who's seen so many people of his own cadre killed, who saw Yawar Masoodi, a young man, being attacked, who's finding people being attacked, petrol bombs being thrown on
Mr. Rana,
houses, who sees people being attacked, being warned,
Mr. Rana, will you calm down?
The man boils because he has a love and care for his own
Mr. Rana, you know what? We just be quiet for a minute, because there are 3 people who have not been given an opportunity to speak. And by the way,
please give everybody an opportunity.
Thank you for your permission.
Don't allow them to
thank you for your permission. While you let them speak, don't use my line. You hold your hand to your heart and ask yourself what you think of a politician who says, give me guns and bombs and I will carry out physical attacks on them, and what the party workers will assume it is.
I think he's a caring
Sameer Kaul will now respond. Sameer Kaul, you mentioned. Sameer Kaul
Abdullah happens to be caring for me and my people.
Fine.
Please understand
people are not just
vagaries that we have to face as National Conference.
Sameer Kaul, my question to you is that you mentioned, you draw a line. 1 minute. A Sarpanch was killed after this comment. It's very serious. He makes a comment. No, please. Devender Rana, hold your horses. Just a minute.
You shut him up, please.
Sarpanch was talking to us.
Just a minute, Mr. Rana. Just a minute. There are 3 other people.
And were wanting to support us. And he got eliminated. Why? I have a question to
One second. How can the PDP draw a connection between Farooq Abdullah's speech where he says, give me guns and bombs, I would have carried out these attacks, but I can't because I don't, and the Sarpanch's murder? Farooq Abdullah's speech is at 2:30 p.m. The murder of Amin Pandit is at 11:30 p.m. What is your proof that the National Conference was involved in the killing of the Sarpanch? And if you don't have any proof, will you therefore apologize to the National Conference tonight for taking the argument a bit too far?
On a lighter vein, Arnab, if you ran a bomb store or a Kalashnikov store, your first prized customer wouldn't have been a warlord from Afghanistan in Helmand. It would have been Farooq Abdullah, by the way.
You are making irrelevant comments and then talking
as far as national conferences, will you please shut up? Will you please shut up?
If we are talking in a lighter vein, we are not here to waste each other's time. We are serious people. And if you have comments about Dr. Farooq Abdullah and these remarks about Dr. Farooq Abdullah, if they are lighter vein,
can you please shut up, my friend?
In such a casual manner,
can you please shut up, my friend?
Then Mr. Sameer Kaul should really apologize to everybody.
Okay, talk. Keep on talking. If you think that is the way to go about such discussions, Arnab, National Conference since the 1930s has a history of relying on strong arm methods to eliminate political opposition. Even if it was the Kisan Mazdoor Party, or was it the Muslim Conference, or was it the Democratic Socialist Party in the 30s, right up till now, when you challenge their political might, they respond by guns, by threats, by bombs, by beating people up, by murdering people. Have you forgotten the murder of Haji Yusuf?
Tell me.
Right here, you threaten clearly, and then you have this action, and look at what it is. And this guy will not shut up. He will just not shut up and let anybody else speak. Because they are hiding a guilt. They have a guilt, and they are hiding that, and they are completely decimated at the grassroots, and therefore fearful of what is coming up ahead.
Well, I said, no, 1 minute. Now, please keep quiet. I will not use unparliamentary language, but please, both of you, calm down. I need to go to the other two panelists, sir? Please. Devender Rana, please.
Goswami, sir.
Mr.
1 minute, sir.
You can, but do you have elastocrate for him?
Mr. Rana, Mr. Rana,
need elastoplast to shut him up.
National Conference has made since 1930.
He won't stop.
Mr. Sameer Kaul,
you need proper elastoplast, my friend.
In 1947, the sacrifices that we have made, and the sacrifices as reasons as from 1990 to 96 that the National Conference has made. Please don't make a mockery of those sacrifices. Our people have laid down their lives.
You know, please, enough, Mr. Rana. Now you will please keep quiet for a minute, and I get Sameer Kaul and Salman Soz in. Shabnam Lone and Salman Soz in. Just a minute, please. And look at Salman Soz, usually an active participant in these debates. Stunned into silence.
I can't see it.
Stunned into silence because he knows that logically speaking, under section 153A of the Indian Penal Code relating to hate speech and section 125 of the Representation of People's Act concerning promoting enmity between classes in connection with an election, Farooq Abdullah should be arrested. This can't be passed off as a metaphor. This can't be passed off as a metaphor. This is not a metaphor. You can't use these things as a metaphor. You don't try and get away by. How can you say if I had? How can you say if I had?
Somebody.
How can you say if I had bombs and guns, I would use it on my rivals?
No, but he will.
Don't give me that kind of line.
Get away with an unsound mind appeal. He'll get away with an unsound mind appeal. They won't arrest him. He'll get away with an unsound mind appeal.
Let me ask you. Who
says that violence is not
by his 1 minute, please. By his son and your party's chief minister's own admission. Okay, these killings of sarpanchas are being carried out by Pakistan-backed terrorists. Salman Soz should answer today why he is quiet. Because he knows that the National Conference leader is giving, and I say this with utmost responsibility, Farooq Abdullah is giving Pakistan-backed terrorists a clean chit.
No.
Oh, yes, he is.
Absolutely not. A metaphor has been used. Put your hand on your heart, sir.
No, but there is a more important motive, my friend. And the motive is to not let people come out and vote.
Those who fought this militancy, those who fought this militants, they are the ones who are now...
Salman Soz.
And we are the ones who are getting killed.
Let's see. Salman Soz.
No, you're wrong. Absolutely wrong.
All people to kill Yawar Masoodi.
Salman Soz.
You are keeping people away from the vote.
Salman Soz's turn. Please keep quiet, both of you.
Why was this man attacked when he was talking?
Let us calm down.
Because you want to spread fear. And you want to eliminate your opposition by killing them, not through votes.
Please.
Because you don't want people to come out and vote.
Salman Soz.
Voted away. Very simple. What's difficult about it?
Salman Soz, please. Devender Rana, don't dominate the debate completely. Salman Soz and Shabnam Lone haven't even spoken.
Carnages that you carried out. Have you forgotten 2010?
Okay, now I'll reduce the volume. Salman Soz, go ahead. Salman Soz, listen to Salman Soz.
His son made certain...
First of all, I'd like to, this is a somber occasion. Muhammad Amin Pandit Saab was killed in a dastardly attack. My condolences to the family and to all his friends and family. It's a very, very sad day. Kashmir witnesses one more painful event. And let me just say that, we've seen many of these attacks happening over the past several years. Just when you think that things are stabilizing, things start getting bad again. And yes, as we get closer to elections, there are elements that vitiate the atmosphere out there, and we have to do all we can. And I say...
No, but you have to come out about which elements are we talking about, Salman?
Please.
You can't just say elements. Be very clear about it. Be specific. Your own alliance partners are creating all the trouble. And you're just keeping quiet.
Dr. Sameer Kaul, let me finish.
No, the subject is not, you can't determine the subject, Salman Soz. The question is, Devender Rana, 1 minute. A cabinet minister says, if I had bombs, I would have carried out 100 attacks. And the party says this is a metaphor.
To his comments.
What? No. Do you think it's a metaphor?
No. First of all,
do you think it's a metaphor?
No. In Kashmir,
it's a cruel joke.
In Kashmir, we have to be extremely careful.
Don't teach me about. Then Farooq Abdullah should be careful.
Senior leaders have to be extremely careful about the language that we use, because look. I mean, I'm sorry, Dr. Kaul. Let us just say that all political parties and leaders
they should be sorry.
Very energized.
What are you sorry about?
Say things
they should be sorry about what they're saying.
Look, which are not. Yes, I say that Dr. Abdullah should say that this is not what I meant. In the heat of the moment, maybe he said something that he did not really mean.
No,
and I think he should
What do you mean? What do you mean?
At the same time,
Shabnam Lone?
At the same time,
I go to Shabnam Lone. Shabnam Lone.
Please, let me finish.
Will that take it away?
My question is to Shabnam Lone. Just a minute, gentlemen. Please let Shabnam Lone come in. Please let Shabnam Lone come in. Shabnam Lone, Devender Rana, listen to Shabnam Lone. Shabnam Lone. Shabnam Lone.
Arnab, please ask Mr. Devender Rana to let some other panelists speak.
Yes, Ms. Shabnam Lone. Ms. Shabnam Lone, he says it's a metaphor. All I heard is that for the first time a cabinet minister is threatening violence.
Arnab, the question is, I'm a Kashmiri and who am I? I am a common Kashmiri. But Mr. Farooq Abdullah is a cabinet minister and he is the repository of constitutional safeguards.
Exactly.
He is under oath to protect the constitution and rights of the common man. The question is, as minister who was supposed to be a repository of constitutional safeguards, should he have made a speech where he gave the bomb threat to any political party, maybe it's PDP or any other party? Question is, what should the Election Commission do? The Election Commission should take serious note of this. The Election Commission should take serious note of the PDP's election threats that they have given to the National Conference. They should not be allowed to get away with impunity, because Kashmir, as you know, is ever the land of the political tempest. As the common man meanders his way with great difficulty. He meanders his way with great difficulty in Kashmir. These politicians are playing to the gallery. This is at best.
What gallery? Why are you?
Oligarch.
So Shabnam Lone, you are usually so outspoken.
Unfortunately.
Shabnam Lone, you are usually so outspoken. Why are you being so one minute? Let me ask a counter question to Shabnam Lone.
Statement in the whole light is not being projected.
Please don't tell
Why
me.
is Mr. Devender Rana? Will you please keep quiet, Mr. Devender Rana? What sort of a macabre metaphor you are using? You think you can get away with it by saying this is a metaphor?
Probably it suits you.
Look at the way you are behaving. This is National Conference culture. They don't allow anybody to speak. They don't believe in democracy. Look at the way he is speaking. And he is not allowing any other panelists to speak. As if we have joined the debate to listen to his rant. Mr. Devender Rana, will you keep quiet? Just keep, Mr. Devender Rana, keep quiet. I am not impressed with your arguments, because National Conference has given rise to some people who have tremendously benefited, and they have not delivered for the common man.
But
it has been a
stating what is a fact. I am not. I have a lot of respect for you. I am only stating the facts. And the facts cannot be twisted at the hands of people like Dr. Sameer Kaul and his leadership, who have no other agenda, who are frustrated, totally frustrated. They are
Devender Rana,
and they are not able to digest. Now they are getting into such issues.
Devender Rana, will you take a question, or have you determined not to listen to anyone? Please listen to me, and listen to me, please. Now, please listen to me. Please just listen to me for him, because you're going on non-stop and you're not listening. So Devender Rana, here's what I think, okay? Here's what I think, and let me complete what I'm saying, then respond. I think that when Farooq Abdullah or anyone gets up on a stage or a rally or even in a meeting and says, if I had the guns and I had the bombs, I would have carried out an attack on them. Not one, but 100 attacks on them. Simple understanding, unless you left your brain behind, simple understanding is he is justifying physical violence and attacks against his political rivals.
Do you really think so?
Yes, I think so.
Do you really think
Yes, I think so.
Do you really believe
Yes, I think so.
Do you really believe
Everyone thinks so.
Do you really believe so?
Don't repeat your point again and
I
again.
have a point.
It's obvious to everyone except
Do
to
you
you.
really believe so?
It's obvious to everyone except to
That
you.
is not correct,
Mrs.
Mr.
Sonia
Goswami.
Gandhi
That is not
needs to
correct.
answer
You
Well,
also
you may
know.
think so.
This is a metaphor.
That's
where
your-
he has
that's your
elaborated,
party
you don't want
loyalty
to see
speaking,
that.
sir.
You are
That's your
seeing
party loyalty.
seeing it from a particular mindset.
Sir, that's your party
Because
loyalty.
It suits the line.
That's your party loyalty.
What are you saying?
Tomorrow, 1 second. No, 1 minute. No, 1 minute.
Please,
No, tomorrow.
This argument
for
is
a
a
moment,
metaphor.
Mr. Goswami, do you think he was trying to instigate
You know something?
violence?
You know,
think
Mr.
Dr.
Rana.
Farooq
You know,
Abdullah is
Mr. Rana.
violent?
Unless you don't want to listen, you want to only speak. Let me tell you something. Unless you want to only speak, please understand this. You, Mr. Rana, you have a wrong impression that the National Conference is the fountainhead of Indian democracy. Your party exists because of Indian democracy. Don't say this. Tomorrow, if another political party comes out and it says, and listen to me, please don't interrupt me. If another political party, if the PDP comes ahead and Mahbooba Mufti says, if I had the guns and bombs, I would have carried out 100 attacks on the National Conference. I can assure you, you will not say it's a metaphor. You will go to the Election Commission then. You will do that. And even if you don't, no party has the right to use that kind of language. That is not the language of democracy, sir. That is the language with the greatest of respect. That is the language of terrorism.
I'm not for violence.
That is the language of terrorism. And look at Salman Soz quiet today just because he's your ally. That's the language of terrorism.
How can Salman Soz justify it?
Through my resource of my people and my vote. Why are you not talking about that? Why half a sentence? Why don't
Shabnam Lone.
full sentence?
I think Mr.
Shabnam Lone, listen to Shabnam Lone, Mr. Rana.
And why not the whole sentence?
Shabnam Lone is speaking, listen to us, sir.
Mr. Devender Rana, you have come to give a lecture on science now, then we better keep quiet. Please keep quiet, will you?
No, but don't have to do that because you can't listen to that nonsense. It's nonsense. What will you listen to? Constant blabbering, not letting others speak. It's nonsense.
Farooq Abdullah is a union minister.
You are making accusations
the Prime Minister,
against
Mr.
my party.
Manmohan
You are
Singh,
making false
Mrs.
accusations.
Sonia
Your
Gandhi
frustration you are
should
giving
ask
vent
him
to. And now
how
you
he
say this
made
is
that
nonsense. Your very
atrocious,
existence can be
undemocratic,
questioned.
ferocious
Your very
statement.
existence of your party is on manipulation, deceit, and always you have done that to the people of Kashmir. Killing. You're talking of killing. Let us debate the killing separately. Each one. Please first answer this Ghulam Nabi Lone. Your own minister was killed. What did his son say?
Okay.
And there are many other
Mr.
issues.
Devender
Let us not
Rana,
talk about them.
please.
And there is no nonsense.
Calm down,
Anybody who
Mr.
feels
Rana.
it's a nonsense should either not be on this
Mr.
debate or
Devender
should go
Rana,
out of this debate or ask me to go out of this
Mr.
debate.
Devender Rana,
Nobody is
listen
talking
to me.
nonsense here.
Okay, calm down, Mr.
I
Rana.
think Farooq Abdullah should provide him with those guns.
Talking.
Calm down, Mr. Rana. Let's hear the
I
other
think
side.
Farooq Abdullah should provide him with some guns
Mr.
here.
Goswami, he has,
maybe a couple of bombs. He would use it on the program tonight.
He's really getting into... This is a catatonic argument. He is going into catatonia, this Mr. Rana. Why doesn't he allow other people to speak?
Listen
This
to
is
her,
democracy.
please.
He can have a point of view. I can have a point of view. What is the problem he has?
But you can't say
Science now is
nonsense,
not your
madam.
political platform, Mr.
If I have respect
Devender
for
Rana.
you, nobody can go around. Dr. Sameer Kaul cannot get up and say it is nonsense.
This is their attitude. This is their political attitude. They do not let anybody else even breathe. And this is how you do all the time. It's not going to work.
So, Mr. Rana,
This is not going to win you the election.
Mr. Rana, now, Mr. Rana, I request you now, you listen to me. Listen to me, Mr. Rana, please. Please, just don't go ballistic like that. Please listen to me. Listen to me, Mr. Rana. Now, you know what? Please, there are others who also must get some space. If they would have constantly, you let them speak. Now, you know, beyond a point of time, I can't compete with you on television. Please, Mr. Rana.
I can't have this metaphor thing. Arnab, what is this metaphor theory that is being floated tonight? Do you actually, I mean, can you actually believe this kind of a thing? What nonsense is
unacceptable.
Metaphor theory. I mean, this is a proper bomb store. They're talking about Kalashnikov's bombs. He's trying to bomb his own. What's wrong with them?
And
They have a history of it.
No, Arnab, and there's one thing.
This is no warlord in Afghanistan, not from Helmand.
just
This is
a
Farooq
minute now,
Abdullah of
Shabnam
Kashmir.
Lone.
Can you
Shabnam
believe
Lone
it?
must be allowed to complete her argument.
Arnab, this shows an utter lack of sensibility. This shows an utter lack of sensitivity. Look what has happened. There is a family which is in mourning. There is a man who has died. And look at this debate. Look at the debate that we are having here. All of them trying to have a go at each other.
Exactly.
What about the common man who has died there? What about the people who see each and every day Kashmiri woman wailing in and out? Do you know the amount, the impression it leaves on their minds? And these people, they just want to enjoy the fruits of power. They want New Delhi to keep them in saddle. They have treated government as their personal fiefdom.
You know, because
they don't know how to govern.
Because
the meaning of probity, proprietary and accountability.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I have a last question for the Congress party. I have a last, one second. My last question is to the Congress party, which has been.
What he meant by that.
My last question is to the Congress party, which has been unusually silent, and I guess I know why. Because the Congress party,
because their ally is threatening people with bombs. He has to keep quiet. And ally is openly threatening people with bombs and dire consequences.
Today, Salman Soz has nothing to say.
Holocaust. How can he justify it?
There is no opportunity to speak.
Really?
There is no opportunity to
really?
speak.
Really? Or have you held yourself back because you know you cannot afford to speak against Farooq Abdullah and upset both Farooq and Omar?
Arnab, you know, I'm a straight shooter.
Salman Soz.
If Shabnam Lone and others keep quiet,
Salman Soz.
You are not that innocent. Come on.
Salman Soz.
Let me speak. I kept quiet when everybody else was speaking because nobody would give me a chance. I'm a straight shooter, Arnab. I think in Kashmir's context, Dr. Abdullah and senior leaders like that have to be extremely careful. We cannot have such politics in Kashmir. We cannot use such language. I'm sorry. And I think, at the same time, we cannot just say that, oh, by the way, he said this and because of this, somebody killed
the whole context. Don't get carried away by what they say. The language please go through the whole context.
Mr. Rana,
at the end of the day,
this justifies an arrest, my friend.
Salman Soz,
this justifies an arrest.
Salman Soz, I will wrap up by saying a union minister goes on record and says that if I had bombs and if I had guns, I would have carried out 100 attacks. Now you can justify it anyway, saying that he went on and said, I don't have bombs, so use votes. But the fact is, when he says that, the only interpretation is that he supports physical attacks.
And not for violence.
I want to know why the law does not apply to Farooq Abdullah. I want to know where the election commission is tonight. And I want to know if Amit Shah and Azam Khan were taken note of, why is the election commission not acting against Farooq Abdullah? Farooq Abdullah should join us on the debate. We'll follow up with this story. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on Newshour Debate 2 tonight.